Hey guys, Brett Weiss here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Going to be playing some arcade Zaxxon today. Sega released the game to the arcades in 1982, in January of 1982, and I'm playing it on the Xbox 360 via Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection. Now, this is a disc with a bunch of great Genesis games on it, plus some arcade games, including Zaxxon. Now, Zaxxon is one of my favorite shooters of all time. I'm not great at it. Right now, you're just watching the attract mode. I'm not great at it, but I got pretty decent back in the day, and we'll see how I am now. We'll see if I'm a little rusty or if I can still play. Now, when Zaxxon came out, like I said, it was January of '82. I played it for the first time in '82, probably that spring, and it was at the Land of Oz arcade in Hurst, Texas. The Land of Oz, excellent arcade. My brother and I would go there about once a week or so, sometimes twice. I was 15, and he's my older brother, so he had a car, and we'd go there and just have a great time. I played Zaxxon quite a bit, even though it was kind of a quarter muncher, because it was so much fun and because it just looks so good. It's an intense shooter, but the most remarkable thing about it is just how great it looks, especially for the time. If you're just used to playing, modern games, you may not realize just what a stunning, gorgeous game this was back in the day. Now, it's kind of hard to tell where you are in relation to the other ships on the screen, but you do have a gauge on the left, high and low, to kind of help you a little bit, but it's still difficult. And if you can dodge these guys, you're doing good enough. You don't have to shoot them all. You do have to go down some though. If you just stay at the top of the screen to try to dodge everything, you'll run out of fuel because you won't shoot the fuel. See the fuel drums down there? And if you just stay at the top of the screen, a heat-seeking missile will destroy you. It'll come out and really hard to dodge. So you have to go down towards the floor and not just fly across the top. Those electrified gates are kind of a pain to get through. Sometimes it looks like you're flying right through them, and even though you're not, you can get past them that way. Kind of hard to judge where they are. Your firing does help. When it hits the electrified gates, you can tell you're... And there's the Zaxxon robot. I'm gonna die because you've got to shoot. You got to come out and aim at the at its missile, or you're gonna die. I can't get to it. That's frustrating. And game over already. At least I got to the Zaxxon robot. I am going to play again though, guys, because I want to talk more about the history of Zaxxon and just my history with it. So it was ported to the Atari 2600 and Intellivision. These were awful ports. They were basically just sort of 2D shooters that if you didn't see the box or the cartridge or title or whatever, you would think they were just generic 2D shooting games. They don't look anything like Zaxxon. Obviously, I didn't go down enough to shoot down below because a heat-seeking missile got me. But luckily, the game did come out for the ColecoVision. Phenomenal port for the ColecoVision. And it looked a whole lot like the arcade game. And in my mind, the arcade game and the ColecoVision game were just better looking than any other games on the market at the time. Especially the space station scenes. Now here out in outer space it looks pretty neat, but there are other games that looked as good as this. But once you get to the space station sections with the brick walls and the electrified walls and the fuel drums and all that kind of stuff, it is really a fantastic looking game. I do like the outer space too. Looks pretty neat. Some galaxies and things in the background. Or at least star clusters. But yeah, look at that. Good looking game. And you just have to remember the time period when this game came out. It's competing with games like Defender and Robotron and Pac-Man and Asteroids and Missile Command. Some good looking games, but man, not as good looking as Zaxxon. Just a phenomenal looking game. Now Zaxxon did just a few years ago, just a couple years or so ago, ColecoVision put out a game called Space Raid for the Intellivision, and it's actually a pretty good clone of Zaxxon. Unlike the actual official port of Zaxxon, Space Raid is instantly recognizable. It's a good port of Zaxxon. Ah, there you go. Well, until I died just now. It's hard to dodge those heat-seeking missiles, but sometimes you can. Even destroyed it that time. But, so anyway, so Zaxxon did spawn a sequel, Super Zaxxon, which I've been playing on my PSP. The PSP version of the Sega Genesis collection has some unlockable arcade titles, including Super Zaxxon. Now, I wish these unlockables were just actually available right away. I have no problem with unlockable extras, but when they're actual games, I would rather them just be immediately available, because sometimes they're tough to unlock and I just want to play them right away. But for whatever reason, Super Zaxxon is in the PSP version and regular Zaxxon is on the 360. I'd love to play Super Zaxxon on the big screen like this, but no such luck. Now I'm running low on fuel because I hadn't been hitting fuel drums. Boom, got some fuel drums. And fuel isn't as big of a factor here as it is in like Super Cobra or Scramble, but it does come up like you see there. And I'm gonna have to hit some more drums here, get some more fuel. Whoa, I didn't see. I was so worried about the drums, I didn't raise back up to go over the wall. Got it. Electrified walls are kind of annoying. I mean, they're challenging, and I get why they're there, but I like the shooting better than trying to dodge the electrified walls. All right, here's the Zaxxon robot again. Got it. Now, look, this is kind of frustrating because you can't destroy the Zaxxon robot as far as I can tell. When you shoot him, he just backs up and goes away. It would be much more now maybe you can. I don't know if maybe if you shoot him more times if you can destroy him, but I've never seen anybody do it. I think he just backs up, which is kind of frustrating. It'd be more satisfying if you could just blow the heck out of him and make him explode. And it's cool, you know, you don't hear about it that often, but as far as I know, the Zaxxon robot is the first boss in video games. You know, bosses are so commonplace now, but back in the day, bosses weren't much of a thing, and as far as I know, Zaxxon has the first video game boss, the Zaxxon robot. Again, it's kind of tough to tell you where you are, but with these guys, I try to shoot them, but mainly I'm just trying to get past them to survive. I should have shot that one because he followed me too close, and so trying to dodge him was a mistake. I should have just tried to get in better position to kill him. Zaxxon is one of the most hardcore shooters of all time, like Robotron, like Defender, like Asteroids Deluxe, like Scramble and Super Cobra. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching my gameplay of Zaxxon. I really appreciate it. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I'd really appreciate it. And I guess I'll put my initials in here, but you guys don't need to watch that. I don't want to bore you with that. Alright, we'll talk to you later.